Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today we got one for Zachary Zabayo. It's a request. Well, not sort of request. I told him that I'd treat him to this. And it's my Filipino Bali-Song collection from the Philippines. These were made by my buddy in the Philippines, Daniel Chua, back in the day, my old friend. And let's just go through them. These are also, somebody else asked me if I had any more I told them I had more mega folders, and these are the knives I was referring to. Were my big giant Bali-Songs. All right. Let me see here. I need a measuring tape. And what else do we need? How about a scale so we can see how heavy they are? Okay, first up, let's do the smaller ones that Daniel made for me. And some of these were made by his father too, so because it was a whole family operation. Then when his father passed away, he took over. I hope Daniel's still doing good. We used to play Diablo on the internet all the time together back in the 90s, like 95 to about 2000. We were really good buddies. And then I just lost touch with him. I hope he's doing okay. I know he started having some heart issues. So I don't know if he's okay or not, but he used to make these knives. He used to sell them on Blade Bid all the time. That's how we met. PVK's old auction site that used to be out there that you could trade any kind of knife that you wanted to on. There wasn't any restrictions. And it's like it was a place to go if you wanted to trade like Bali-Songs or automatic knives. It's sort of like an underground auction site. And that's where a lot of my knives came from. Well, it's like it started up when the internet came into the picture, like in 1995-ish or so. And it was real popular during the 90s, late 90s. And then the auction site got closed. And I don't know the reasoning why it got closed or whatever. I just know all of a sudden it was closed. And you couldn't sell and trade these things anymore because eBay, they didn't allow you to sell and trade these types of things. Automatics and Bali-Song knives that are illegal in a lot of states. They wouldn't allow you to sell them or trade them. Here's another one, split bone. And these are called split bones because they have bone handles. And the handles were made out of World War II, I think it's 50 cal shells or whatever. I think Daniel Chua used to tell me. They used to find the old, and the steel for the knives came from old Jeep springs. What's up, sweetie? Want to say hi to everybody? There you go. That's my Juno. She's over here saying hi to everybody. That's my girl. Want to come up here and say hi? You come up here real quick, sweetie. Want to come up here? You look like you want to come up here and say hi. No, you just want to hang out on Grandpa's leg? Okay, that's cool. But these are made out of spring steel out of old, there she goes, old military vehicles. That's from the suspension. And they use the brass shells to make the handles. So it's all stuff that they source locally. And then make these beautiful Bali-Songs. So these are like what, real Bali-Songs looked like in the beginning. I would call them the most authentic Bali-Songs. Okay, so you gotta get down, kiddo. You gotta get down. I know you wanna see yourself. You gotta get up on the table so you can see yourself when we edit the video, huh? Check out the video. I know what you're doing. All right, kiddo. Give me kisses. Okay, sweetie. Next one up. see, let's take them out as we do them, so I won't be doing the same ones over and over again. This is a slim one. Anyway, this one, he's trying to copy the Benchmade Weehawk blade. I gave him a Weehawk Benchmade. I traded him the Benchmade for some knives because he wanted a Weehawk Benchmade. The one with the titanium handles and the Weehawk blade like this. This is like Benchmade's famous blade. It's supposed to be Filipino style blade. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Benchmade started in the Philippines. And then it went to like Japan, then California, and now I think it's in, was it Oregon or something like that? Or Oregon and Washington, one of those states. Correct me if I'm wrong. This one's got his marking on it. It says DC. His name was Daniel Chua. His name on the internet is for his knife making was called Song. His internet name was Song. It's one of the ways that he helps support his family is by making and selling these on Blade Bid. And also through PVK. He used to sell them through PVK if I'm not mistaken also. Awesome knives. That's the big blade. This one has a wood handle. Because they always have either like bone and wood or a combination of the both. But they're still all called split bones, even though some of them have bone handles. I mean wood handles, I'm sorry. Beautiful knives. Really thick too. Hollow ground. Let's set this aside. I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. Go over these too. This one was custom made for me by Daniel because I told him what I wanted in my Bali-Song, and he made it for me. This is the dagger, Filipino dagger. I never flip double-edged Bali-Songs. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. I never mess with double-edged Bali-Songs trying to flip them. I've had bad luck doing that. So I don't do it. I don't mess with. I love double-edged Bali-Songs. You know, a double-edged blade is an excellent blade to put in a Bali-Song, but you won't catch me flipping them. It's the Filipino Chris. Did I show you the handle's really good on this one? All these knives are over 20 years old. Going on 30 years old. They're not new knives. I've had them for a very, very, very long time. They're knives I will never trade or sell because they were made by a friend of mine. That was a close friend. During a time when I needed to have a close friend after I had a bad accident. This is the one he made for me because you know I like my Tantos. So he made a Weehawk Tanto. Is that cool or what? I think it's super cool. And here's his name, internet name. It says Song Prototype. DC always stood for Daniel Chua. He used to put like a Song or a DC on a lot of his blades, but a lot of his blades didn't have any markings. Look how thick that is. It's a beast. Let's do some measurements. Do some measurements real quick. I'm not trying to make this video real long. I just want to put out because I told him I was going to show him my Filipino Bali-Song collection. Zachary. I don't flip these knives. These are all collectors. Because they're all one of a kind. They're not replaceable. All right. there they are. And let me see, blade lengths. On the one with the big standard blade, 6.5 inches. The handle length, 6 3/4. Total just under 13 inches. This one's 12 inches total length. The blade, 5 3/4. The handle, 6 1/4. This one, 12.5 inches. The blade, 6 inches. Handle, 6.5 inches. The one that was custom made for me has a 6-inch blade. Let me see, I'm trying to touch the tip. 6-inch blade. Just a little, it's like a 6/8. 12 6/8 for the total length. This one, 4 1/4 total length, just under 9 inches. This one just under 9 inches, 4 1/4 for the blade length. This one, blade length is 4 1/4, just under 9 inches. This one, blade length is 4 1/4, 9 inches. These are the ones that Daniel Chua made for me. And I remember one of these is a knife that his father made. I know it's one of the smaller ones, and I want to say it's this one. I'm pretty sure it's this one, the one that his pops made. It is real special. But there they are. Let's weigh them out really quick. The big one, let me see here. $9.7 ounces for this one. 9.7 ounces. 9.2 ounces, so this one's a little bit lighter. 9.5 ounces, so this one's heavier than this one, but lighter than the other one. 9.5 ounces again. The lightest to the heaviest. Now the small ones, let me see what we got over here for the small ones. They're actually not small, huh? 7.1 ounces. It's probably gonna be the second heaviest. 6.1. 5.6. And 4.0. There they are, people. There they are. There they are. And I also want to just add in really quick, these are some other Bali-Songs that are from the Philippines. And some people say these are the original Benchmades. I don't know if that's true or not. But they say original Bali-Song on them. Bali-Song was a trademark name for butterfly knives that Benchmade used. Now, these are really old too. These are really old too. I think they're from the 80s, 1980, late 80s is when I got them, I think. Old split bones. These are production knives. These aren't like knives that made somebody like Daniel Chua that was making them for his family. And they're all numbered and everything. Let me see if I can Get you guys to see that. So if anybody knows anything about these, it'd be great if you let me know about it. I've been told that these are the original Benchmade knives, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have any documentation. I have the original boxes that these came in and everything like that, but they say this is their knives that they had before they became Benchmade. And this looks like another one that I got that Daniel Chu probably made for me too. I think this might have been the one I tried to carry for a minute because it's got a lot of rust on it. It's one thing about the spring steels from the Philippines when they make them out the suspension springs. That spring rusts really pretty easy. I don't know what kind of steel it is. It's probably like a 5160 or something like that. And my other Bali-Songs that I used to like to carry. Now this one was a collector. I have a whole bunch of Benchmade Bali-Songs. These are just a few of them. I'm trying to show you one of every model. This one was a collector. I never liked to carry the double-edged ones. This one's sharpened on both sides. It's a dagger. If you flip this and accidentally hit your hand, you get cut. So that's why I didn't like the double-edged ones. This one, well, let's do this one last. Okay. This one is the Weehawk blade. And the kind of steels that these had, I'm not sure what kind of steels, I think these might have been spring steel too. I'm not sure what kind of steels these were. But this one is D2. That's D2. When D2 was a premium steel. D2 used to be a premium steel back in the 90s. That's where these are from. These are from the 90s. D2. Remember, I've told you guys about that, how the steels that we call low budget steels now used to be the premium steels. Trying to see what kind of steel this one is. Benchmade USA. It doesn't say. I don't see any markings for the blade steel. See, that's the reason why I always like people to mark these things, because I think this might be 440, because 440C was a popular steel for Benchmade also back in the day. Okay, this is one. This is one of the ones I used to carry back in the day. Well, let me use this one first. Let me finish this set out first. Yeah, here we go. That's the clip point. And this one is, hold on, people. Let me bring out the magnifying glass. 440C. 440C. Yeah, the Bali-Song. These are titanium ones. All these are titanium. I absolutely love these. These are my favorite ones, the titanium ones. Let me see if I take the magnifying glass to this one again. Nope, I don't see a steel marking. Okay, move on. This is one of the ones I used to carry back in the day. I always liked the Tantos. I think you guys know I like Tantos by now. But this one has stainless steel handles. This is one of the old ones with stainless steel handles. And you couldn't adjust the pivots. And it had the what's the name, where it come back and contact the blade. They come back and it hit the blade right there, bam. And so this blade has a lot of little nicks in it, in the edge. And if you look at the blade tang, I'm trying to do this without getting my cut myself. Let me see if I can hold this. You can see all the little nicks in the blade tine. This one was heavily used. I carried this one a lot. It's a lot like the one that I had confiscated from me. The one I had confiscated from me was, where'd it go? Oh, we haven't done it yet. The one that we had confiscated from me was this one. Was a matching one to this one. I used to have two. I'm sorry, I used to have three of them, and now I only have two. Absolutely love them. And this is one of my first ones I had. It's when they made them with zinc handles. And I think this is made in Japan. Let me get the magnifying glass. Yep, international series. So this is one of the ones that's made in Japan. It's an international series. And to top this off, I'm going to top it off with what Lucky gave me. This is new FGX Bali-Song from Cold Steel. Double-edged, serrated double-edged. Now I know these are made out of Grivy, but these things are sharp. This thing has bit me a lot. Because I thought it would be cool being double-edged and plastic. I could probably, actually practice with this one and learn how to, handle a double-edged Bali-Song a little bit better. But this one, it bites me so much, I gave up on it. Lucky said I should dull one side of it. But I absolutely love it. And they make these with the, what do you call it, with the Tanto blade, I think, also. That would be the desirable one for me, is the Tanto blade one. That one you'd be able to play with all day long. This one, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. But there you go, people. It's been a long time since I handled these, and I've been trying to, get myself back in the groove of them, but I'm way out of it. I'm way out of it. I used to be halfway decent with the Bali-Song, but I'm sort of gotten old and haven't messed with them in a long time. Most of these have been sitting in my safe for like over 20 years. These were my knives I was into when I was in the 80s and 90s. And I have a whole bunch of them. This is just a taste of them. I have like three more rolls of Bali-Songs. I have one roll of all-American different brand Bali-Songs from the 80s and 90s. And then I have one roll of Benchmades. These are just some of them. Each roll has like, I don't know, 20 knives or something like that. And then I have a roll of Bali-Songs that are American and international Bali-Songs. And then I have the two rolls of the Daniel Chua Bali-Songs. I have a pretty big Bali-Song collection because that's like one of the first knives I was really into. This is what I was doing before Triad locks. And my most prized set was the Archangels from Cold Steel. And those are my first knives I ever owned from Cold Steel, but a person bought them off of me for $1,800. So, and I had only paid $110 for each one when they were brand new. And the person offered me $600 a piece for each one. Because I didn't want to sell them. You saw them from my videos because I have a video on them on the internet. If you want to, you could search Archangels and you'll find the video. But that person bought that set. He saw it on the internet and he wanted it. But anyway, these are my Bali-Songs. The ones that I can show you. I got tons of Bali-Songs. I got Bali-Songs like I got Cold Steel knives. I got a lot of Bali-Songs. But most of my Bali-Songs are varied from different makers and stuff like that. And they're not like dedicated to being like mostly one brand like my Cold Steel collection is during that period of time. Because after I got done with these, I went into, because I got in trouble. I got in trouble with one of these. And I was told that it was a felony to carry this, and it was one that was just like this. I was told it was a felony to carry it after a motorcycle accident. It was hanging out my pocket when I was unconscious on the ground. And the CHP officer saw it hanging out my pocket, and he grabbed it and picked it up. And when I came to, he told me that he confiscated it and that he wasn't charging me or anything, but he said it was a felony to have a Bali-Song in California. To carry a Bali-Song. You're allowed to own them, but you can't carry them. Just like switchblades, you're allowed to own switchblades, but you can't carry them. You're allowed to own daggers, but you can't carry them. Those are all felony knives. Now, I didn't know that. At the time, I didn't know that there was a law against these. I knew there was a law against switchblades, but I thought this is like a folding knife. Because to me, you know, it is a folding knife, right? That's all it is. It's just a folding knife. It just folds fancy. but that's the way, you know, I learned about these, and I stopped carrying them at that point. And I still collected them a little bit longer, but I started getting weaned off of Benchmades, and then I got into like the liner lock Benchmade AFCK, because I still wanted to carry a Benchmade after carrying these for so long. And so I started carrying the liner lock AFCKs, and that's the knife that failed on me. It had a titanium liner lock, and it failed on me, and it cut up my hand. And so that's when I started hating liner locks. And then the cold steel knife came out, the Tie-Lite 4, or it was just a Tie-Lite at first. And they didn't have the Tie-Lite 6s at first, so it was just a Tie-Lite. And the titanium Tie-Lite by Phil Bogaczewski at Cold Steel, designed by Phil Bogaczewski, the famous stiletto maker. And so I decided to get that. And I liked the way that the liner lock was folded over. I felt safer with that, and it locked up tight. And I carried that until they came out the Tie-Lite 6s, and I started carrying the Tie-Lite 6s. And then I carried the Tie-Lite 6s until they started coming out the Triads, and I moved on to the Triads. That's sort of like my progression. And then like all the way up until like about when the company was sold, I carried nothing but Triads and Tie-Lite 6s. The Tie-Lite 6 was the only other knife I carried that wasn't a Triad. And then when Cold Steel got sold, and I decided it was time for me to start, you know, checking out some different things, because I had carried nothing but Cold Steels for like 18 years, something like that, 17 years. And I decided was to try out something new since the company was getting sold, because I didn't know what was going to happen with the company. I thought it would be like AMF, when Harley-Davidson sold AMF, and the company went downhill. But so I just got into, you know, trying to buy up the knives I really like, you know, before they, you know, they would be totally hard to get. And that's the reason why I got a lot of Cold Steels. And I started trying out different knives, like Hogues. I think Hogue was like one of the first companies I started trying out. Hogue, and because I was trying to keep it American. Hogue, and some other, and Brian Ty and Friends. And then I collected all the CRKT Brian Ty knives. And then I started getting into like, I don't know, the Chinese knives. I tried out the Chinese knives, and I never had done that before. I did it way back in the 80s when I used to sell knives on eBay, because I bought some knives to sell on eBay, and they were junk, and I didn't even want to sell them on eBay, so I didn't sell them on eBay. I still have the knives. But, and then I started trying all kinds of knives, like the Spydercos, and I don't know, all the other knives that you see me, you know, have or whatever. Pretty much the last 3 or 4 years is like, well, actually, like since like, I don't know, when Cold Steel gets sold out, was it 2019 or 2020? Whenever that was, that's when I started trying out everything. And that's where all the knives that you see that I have, like SOG, because I never had carried a SOG until then. SOGs and all the different brands and stuff like that. But that's where I'm at today. That's where I progressed to. And I absolutely love this one. This one's really cool. But I don't know. I got PTSD when it comes to double-edged Bali-Songs. It's like, you know, it's like, I was like, oh, hell no. You know, I like double-edged fixed blades, but not Bali-Songs, because I don't like flipping this thing around, and especially if your blade is sharp. I always keep my blade sharp. You get cut, because Bali-Songs will bite you if you don't treat them right. They will bite you. And double-edged Bali-Songs, they look really cool and everything, but I'm not that good. I'm not that efficient with the Bali-Song to be handling the double-edged Bali-Songs. I do collect them. I do collect them. I have 3 Benchmade Bali-Songs that are double-edged, and a couple of Weehawks, a couple of clip blades, a lot of blades with Tantos on them. 2 of these, and I think I got one of these. I got this one in the Weehawk and the other blade too. And then I had like the small Benchmades too. That's Benchmade made smaller knives too, with like a 3 or 3.5 inch blade, something like that. Matter of fact, let's see how long these blades are. 4 1/4, 9-inch knife. 4 1/4, 9 inch. Wait a minute, what am I saying that? 4 1/4, 9.5 inch knife. 4 1/4, 9.5 inch knife. So these are 4 1/4 inch blades, and total length is 9.5 inches. This one is longer than 4 1/4. It's like 4 3/8. Total length is 9 and looks like 5/8, something like that. All right, people. And this one, FGX, just under 11 inches. The blade is about 5 inches. And FGX knives are cool. Just to show you, I got a collection of FGXs too. That's my Taipan. That's my Karambit. And this is my Recon. Oh no, this is a Master Tanto. That's what this one is. It's supposed to be a Master Tanto. But I get these things to practice with. I like to practice with these, you know, because when you practice with them, you still have to be careful because these are sharp. These are actually pretty sharp. And so like this one, I've been bitten by a lot. And that's the reason why I know I don't like Karambits. This is awesome right here. But these are actually, you know, they look like toys, but they're not. They're actually real knives. They're just knives made out of grivery. But they are sharp. They have sharp blades. These will stab and cut. All right, people. Well, I'm going to end it right here. Hope this will suffice. I wish my skills were a little bit better right now, but my skill set has dropped on this one. Has dropped on this one. Just doing basic flips. I still like these the best though. And I have another set of Bali-Songs I like really good too. I forget that, because I got like sets of Microtech Bali-Songs and other brands I forget, like Monarch. I know you guys probably don't know what Monarch. Monarch was a custom Bali-Song made in the United States. Thick stainless steel handles. It was like made for people like the heavy stainless steel handles and thick blades. You had to order them. They custom make them for you when you ordered it. But anyway, I don't even know if those companies even exist anymore. All right, people, let's cut it off here. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm gonna do one more video today, and it's gonna be a video on. It's gonna be another roll video, and it's gonna be the video that contains like my heavier duty cold steels. All right, people. Peace. Stiletto.